Live from the mist-enshrouded mountaintop fortress that is X and Y Communications headquarters, you're listening to the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. And now, here's your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, how's it going? This is your main man, Scott McKay, coming at you again with another episode of the Mountaintop Podcast from X and Y Communications. Hey, why not? Let's have a little fun today. You know, I always accuse us as men of being allergic to fun. And today, well, we're going to have the antihistamine for that mindset. We are going to stop being allergic to fun. We're going to Zysol the heck out of that mindset, and we're going to have loads of fun. My guest, you're going to enjoy her immediately. She's cute, she's funny, she's feminine, she's all the things we love around here. And she's smart, which, I mean, that's like the fourth leg of the stool, you know. And so we love women who know their stuff. My guest today is named Lauren Salon. It's not spelled S-A-L-O-N, but it is pronounced that way. She's from Los Angeles. Don't let that scare you away just yet, all right? But she is an entrepreneur, a speaker, transformational facilitator, which seems like a whole lot of keystrokes for what it probably means, and a somatic life coach. Some people think somatic is sleep, but I think it's more about your body. For me, at my age, it's both. But enough about me. What's she going to talk about today? Well, on the surface, it seems like a flogged horse. She's going to talk about the essence of femininity. But, you know, as hard as I try to find people to come on the show and talk about something that's not only relevant to getting better with women and being a better man, but also original, like, you know, we're not going to talk about being Mr. Nice Guy for the 400th time. I thought about it and I said, when has a woman ever come on this show and not tried to like womansplain us on what femininity is, you dumbasses, but instead telling us about what the very essence of femininity is. What drives it? What's it all about? I thought that sounded like a great show, and it's going to be Lauren Salon from Los Angeles. Welcome, kiddo. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. And I know you said we're going to be having fun today. I'm already, just from that intro, I'm already having a good time. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me, Scott.
Well, you're quite welcome. You know, I've painted you to be a fun person.
Thank you. I think I am.
The giggle helps. That's very good. All right. So you gave me a whole lot of potential topics for this show, and they all boiled down to the one big mic drop, which is the essence of femininity. Mm-hmm. So at the top of your queue of things you wanted to talk about today happened to be the exact right question. What I'd ask organically anyway. Hopefully the essence of femininity is organic. It's not chemicals and BPAs and all that.
Absolutely.
Stuff. The essence of femininity, what it really is and what it's not. Now, I owe these guys a little bit of a disclaimer here. I didn't have a conversation with you. We had a pleasant conversation before clicking, record on this, but I did not tell you how I view masculinity and femininity. And you said you dabbled in the show a little bit, but not enough to really have a dead giveaway of what we think about that. I'm going to let you have the first person on this. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And I hope it's slightly different than what we have.
All right.
Essence of femininity. What is it and what is it not, Lauren?
So when I explained the essence of femininity, and, if we're zooming out, we all, men and women, we've all got masculine, feminine energy within us. Each person's kind of balance is going to be unique to them. Now, femininity, feminine energy, it is about receiving. It is inherently receptive energy. And I think a lot of people believe that feminine energy, because it's receptive, that means that it's passive, which is not true at all. And feminine energy, so if it's both receptive, but it's also about being, whereas masculine energy is going to be more about doing, right? That penetrative energy, feminine energy, receptive, being, and so anchored in creativity as well. If you just think from like boiling it down to a very biological level, right? From creating life. So all of those things kind of like on a very simplified basis, it's receptive energy. It's that creative life force energy. It's being like, almost like that, like just existing, right? Like, and in that essence in and of itself without
I
having
think a
to
lot of guys feel
necessarily-
like they're just sitting around existing, especially after a few beers on weekends, but
Yeah.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. About presence, right? And I think we hear a lot of women, I think, on social media being like, I just want to exist and like be me. And I think that can be said in a very limited and sometimes delusional capacity, right? But it also that does boil down to a certain extent what feminine energy is. It's not about going out there and like boss babe, proving yourself and stuff like that, though that absolutely, like, there's nothing wrong with like, going and accomplishing things as a woman, anything like that. But it really comes down to that being creativity energy, that life force energy, and that receptiveness as well.
Well, I think it's very interesting what you said, because oftentimes when people come on this show and they say feminine and masculine are energy and we all have all of it within us, my Eastern religion radar goes up.
Okay.
Because I think that's part of those traditions, the yin and the yang. I personally believe, and I'm not going to disagree with you, so this isn't going to be adversarial. But I am going to spill the beans now that I believe masculinity is male, femininity is feminine, and they are the catalyst of sexual attraction and the building blocks of procreation. Otherwise, Why would we even care? If someone wants to argue about this, I would say, well, then, especially a woman would say that. And I would go, well, then you're reducing sexual attraction to body parts, and that doesn't feel good to women, now does it? And so it's the psychosocial piece that goes along with sex, is masculine and feminine, right?
Right. And I wouldn't disagree with what you're saying on that. I share that perspective as well. I think if I'm really zooming out at the look, yes, masculine energy, men, like masculinity. And if I'm going to get really granular with it, the act of like the energy of, or the actions of like going out and being competitive and accomplishing something in the world, that falls more into a masculine energy kind of state, which doesn't mean that way of being is only reserved for men, right? So that's why so a lot of the work that I do is with women who have been those like go-getter, often like boss babe, high achieving women who have like so much going for them in their lives and have like rich friend groups and like just have built a beautiful life for themselves, are confident, are often like, when you look at them, very feminine and stuff like that, but they tend to struggle in relationships and they don't know why, right? But because they're leading so often with their masculine energy, but they want a masculine man, but then they're like, but I just meet these like more passive men, or there's no masculine enough men for me out there. But it's because they're leading with the energetics behind how they're moving through the world are more masculine energy dominant. And so, of course, that's going to naturally repel a masculine energy dominant man.
Well, I love how passionate you are about this subject, because you'll end up being one of those guests I don't have to do all the talking for. Because this audience doesn't like that. They love guests who are passionate about what they believe and they know their stuff, and you certainly do. And this is starting off wonderfully.
Thank you.
Everything you said is true. I mean, certainly men can have feminine energy.
Yeah.
Women can exude masculine energy. But I think you and I are on the same page in saying ain't nobody going to attract each other sexually at the heterosexual level like that. It ain't going to happen.
Correct.
You can do that to impress your buddies. You can do that to get your way in the world. Certainly, every single parent, and single moms or single dads, if they're playing the mommy and the daddy role, they have to do the masculine and the feminine all day long, and it's exhausting to wear both hats.
Absolutely.
You said something brilliantly insightful. I think once you know why you said it, it should be obvious to us. But you said something about how femininity, even though it's receptive and men are penetrative. And again, how do you argue that when that's the biological design?
Right.
I mean, it actually bolsters my argument, my position. I don't know if I even have to argue it. I don't see how it's even controversial, yet it is, that masculinity is the catalyst of feminine sexual attraction and vice versa. This is the psychosocial representation of the physical act. They all go together. We're not just physical beings. We're spiritual beings, psychological. We're mind, body, soul. And that's not even woo-woo or Eastern or anything weird. It's just, dude, it's kind of a fact. Occam's razor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So if it was all body parts, it wouldn't be interesting. We have to be male, female human beings who attracted each other. So if the receptive, I love receptive is beautiful. And the penetrator seems like the dominator and the one doing the sticking to the other one. And of course, you can take that analogy and turn it ugly.
Yes.
The patriarchy has stuck it to us forever, Let's penetrate them instead,
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, it's a revenge mindset. It's an adversarial mindset when quite literally, men and women are designed to be in partnership together, not be adversaries.
Mm-hmm.
So what you said that was, I thought, so profound and beautiful, actually. I'm so glad I let you riff on this without any input from me, because you said so many beautiful things in so many beautiful ways.
Thank you.
That reception is not inferior to the penetration. Because without receiving what's penetrating, no babies are born, no pregnancies happen, nothing beautiful is created. I loved what you said moreover, what you said about women having creative energy. It doesn't mean we guys are incapable of having imagination and a good idea sometimes. That's not what this is about. It's about the nurturing. It's about the human miracle of life that's caused in the female body, and how, yes, this is not a well-traveled conversation around here. That's an essence of femininity. Guys, I don't care what they say on MSNBC or MS Now or MS what used to be, whatever they call it now. Men aren't getting pregnant. Okay?
Correct. My goodness.
Most of us think that's, again, Occam's razor easy. You're not going, as much as you would love to take the pain and the suffering for the woman in your life and bear the weight of that pregnancy for her, chances are deep down she may complain about it when it doesn't feel right and she needs pickles and ice cream, but she loves being a mother. She loves that. She loves the sacrifice and the birth, and it's beautiful to her in a way that you won't understand because you're a man. But men, the penetration involves not victimization, but giving and offering and presenting in the best interest of the feminine. So when I get in a gotcha moment, you're talking about how you've been on gotcha podcasts before, where they kind of want to bury you, and you have to know how to handle yourself. And you always look great when you do that effectively. That's the collective you, us, anybody.
Yes.
The royal we. Whenever I go on shows and I have, angry feminists who are going to gotcha me about my masculinity, I always say, what if I told you I think femininity is the higher calling? There's always like an uncomfortable radio silence, even if it's like on terrestrial radio, and they're like, we're listening. Because men are always, women are stupid. They don't have good ideas. You go on dates and make her feel like, roll your eyes. She's not capable of anything. That's not making a woman feel safe. That's not this positive penetration. So what happens is women bring everything that we live for on weekends, everything that makes life beautiful and worth it. Joy, play, fun, comfort, hospitality. Men, what do? Our leadership and our penetration is we provide and protect in the best interest of helping femininity blossom. And so when you do that, women respond powerfully to you. If you don't have women responding powerfully, positively to you as a guy, you didn't lead.
Yeah, masculine energy, like men acting as men, right? They provide, virtuous men, right? Provide the safety and the structure for feminine energy and femininity and women to be in that softness, to be in that receptive state. Because without that, a woman will not feel safe to be in that softness. And there's, we can see the extremes from both sides, right? With men being like, oh, I need this like soft women. They're not that, but then it's like, okay, sure. Right. And I agree that a lot of women do have trouble these days accessing that and being in that state for many reasons. But then also, happy. But then also it's like, okay, and are you creating an environment for her to feel like she can be really soft? Because another thing, men have to keep in mind is like men are tend to be single focused, right? Hunter, go hunt the thing. That's like on a very primitive level, where women, we are as the, on the very basic, like weaker physically sex. This is like, we're talking about like our kind of primitive kind of wiring and stuff. And because if we are, a cave woman back in the day, pregnant and all that kind of stuff, we can't necessarily defend our whole family and all of that. So we have to be scanning for safety at all times, right? So women have we have our safety radars on all the time. And so if a woman doesn't feel safe, and that safety is often created by strong masculine leadership, then she's not going to soften into that receptive state or that like fun and play kind of energy as much.
That's right. She'll be too busy at the lower end of Maslow's hierarchy, still trying to be able to breathe, feed herself, and be safe. This is the single mom dilemma. There's not any time left after the basics that masculine energy would create and foment to have time for the higher echelon achievements and beauty of life that femininity brings. Men can misuse the power they have and do horrible things with it. And women are foolish to allow those guys in their lives. But, people can masquerade and have a Jekyll and Hyde thing going where they're very good at drawing someone in and turning on them. Women can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
But what's happened is if men realize, and let's get down to the problem most good, decent men have. Those are the guys listening to this show. Yeah, we know that there's toxic dudes out there. They don't like me. The red-pilled men going their own way, guys who despise women. They need me to go away because I'm actually happy and have a woman who loves me and I love her and I shouldn't exist. I'm a unicorn to them. But for guys who are actually trying to do right, we get into a loop of where the safety and security equals physical protection. I got to beat up some thug who shows up. If something goes bump in the night, I take care of it. If I'm on the ready for that emergency situation, I'm good. I can sit on the couch and, get fat and watch football. She won't care. But that's not it. There's this emotional security.
Yes.
There's this mental security, psychological and spiritual security. And men overlook that much to their own peril. And then they wake up one day and they have a nagging wife and they wonder what they did wrong.
Exactly. Like the physical safety piece is one part of it. Yes, that is a part of it. And it's an important part of it, right? Like we want to know if we're out in the world or at home, someone tries to break into the house, or we're out and someone tries to do something, that you're going to be able to handle it or put up a good fight to keep me safe, right? And it's so much more than that, because that's a pretty unlikely scenario, right? But it is that.
Well, hold on. I want you to continue about what it's more than that, but I want to say something important so these guys know, because not every guy listening to this is 6'4" and a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm not very big. Don't think I'm bad. Don't box, no karate, but I always have a plan. I'm always composed. I don't freak out. And I know how to drive a car safely in weather. I know how to avoid accidents.
Yeah.
And I know how to make good, solid decisions that keep us as a family or individually out of trouble. And that gets credited to me by most women as the ability to make her feel physically safe.
Absolutely. It's not you have to be the buffest, biggest guy to create physical safety. Absolutely not. Yeah, sure. That does help, but you do not have to be. It's okay, do I trust this man to handle an unexpected situation and make level-headed, smart decisions in the best interest of our family?
Right.
Us.
So there's a meta level even to physical protection that I think needed to be said. But you were going to go into the nuances of how it goes beyond that.
Yeah. The other safety is that emotional safety, right? Do I trust your leadership? Where are you leading us in our relationship in life? Do I trust that? And does that feel like a safe plan? Do you feel like a safe plan, a safe bet, all of that? The emotional safety, okay, can I bring my emotional highs and lows and my emotional messiness to you? And because and this is one of the things, I'm going to go on a little tangent here, because I know a lot of women are yeah, but I want to be able to be fully me, and I'm an emotional woman and all of that. I get it. I'm a very emotional woman. I'm Italian.
I've got a lot of bipolar 1 on my ass.
No. Yeah. I've got big feelings. I am very expressive, all of that. And that is not, of course, a a pass for us women to be emotionally erratic or volatile, not by any means.
That would be toxic femininity.
Exactly.
That would be the perversion of the virtue.
Exactly. But I also want to know that I can be emotional and like feeling things in a really big way, and it doesn't like completely overwhelm my man and like blow him over, because little old me is going to overwhelm that big strong man. He can't even handle little me and having a little meltdown, right? Like, and not that that's happening on a conscious level. And again, a woman, like, we have responsibility for how we manage our emotions and how we bring that to our man. And if a woman is feeling, oh, well, I can't bring my big feelings to him, I'm not looking at him to solve the problem. But even if I'm just feeling something big and I want to express it to him, he gets so overwhelmed and so stressed by it, like he can't even handle that, right? And so there's a like subconscious thing in a woman's mind too for emotional safety as well. So like there's safety on so many levels.
Yeah, am I free to be authentic? Because if I don't feel like I can be authentic, then I don't feel like this person even knows who I am. And if we don't know each other, how are we supposed to feel safe together if I don't even know who I'm dealing with? And if I'm not allowed to express this part because he can't handle it, then he's incapable of standing up to me. So he's incapable of standing up for me.
Exactly.
Right. No, beautiful. Again, I keep talking. This is great.
Thank you. And, a lot of women want and say they want men who are leaders, strong masculine men. And I also believe when we as women are most aligned in what's most natural for us, we are going to want a masculine man who is a leader. Like that's our biology. And so when we're in that place, right, like it's knowing like, okay, can I trust this man's leadership and where he's taking me? And there's so much safety in that. And so like I was saying, like if I feel like my little emotions, not little, but big emotions, like little me can blast him away, then not safe.
I think a lot of guys get caught up in the transactional element of relationships nowadays, and that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, Generation Z, a lot of them, and this is well traveled on this show, but for the benefit of you who haven't listened much, they don't even know what connection means anymore. It's just, what can I get out of this? So, I mean, will they pay my bills? Will they take care of me? Will I have sex every night? What's in it for me? The whiff them.
Yeah.
And a man who's providing and protecting cannot be selfish about it. Does that mean you never spend any money on yourself and you fall on your sword all the time? No, not really. We talked before we clicked record on this, how I just bought my wife a present.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only after I bought myself the men's version of the same thing. So I figured I better buy hers. I mean, that's allowed. You can do that. You don't have to fall on your sword. It's just make sure you think of her too. But you don't blow all the money on selfish things and leave your family hungry. You think of them first. Mm-hmm. And you make decisions that are in the best interest of, first your wife, first your girlfriend, first date. I make decisions on behalf of women I don't even know all the time, just because I'm in this mode. Make decisions on the behalf of your family that are going to make them feel safe and comfortable. And I've noticed two things. First of all, when a man does this routinely, 85-15, he gets it right most of the time. Women will let him.
Yeah.
They're glad to let him make the decision. They're glad to have it off their plate because they know it'll work out. And the second thing I've noticed is a lot of guys have gotten too wrapped up. Again, in 21st century, the lack of Western world, the state of things right now, we lack the ability to think critically. So because the media feeds us all or nothing headlines, this side's good, this side's bad, unequivocal, no middle ground, we start thinking that way about everything. So a man's thinking, I've got to make decisions on in the best interest of a woman. Well, then my life is over. I'll never get anything. I'm going to be some sort of simp who's just doing things for this woman, and she's just going to take. There's no trusting of the system. And there's especially, wait for it, no trusting of how much like a man and how satisfied it makes you feel to be that guy and have it received powerfully.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. A few things on that. One, I think that at the core of true healthy masculinity is being in service, and it is sacrificial, right? And And for me, that's also very like biblically based and stuff like that. But it is about like putting your wife first, your family first, all of that, and not necessarily at the detriment of yourself, because in that partnership, you should be getting poured into as well and respected and acknowledged and everything like that.
The feminine gifts come as a gift. They're gifts. They come as a reward for you providing the safe space for those gifts to flourish. We as men, femininity is the higher calling. Femininity is the more important part. We're the enabler. We are the enablers of it. But importantly, we are the beneficiaries of it.
Yep.
We get to enjoy it.
Yep.
Sexually comes to mind. The things you do for us, the softness, the recharging of the warrior's batteries.
Yes. And feminine energy is an amplifier, right? So I believe like what a man as the leader, what he pours into his woman, that gets given back by a good woman, right? Gets given back even bigger.
Disclaimer, we do not coach broken people around here.
Exactly.
You're broken, you need a shrink. We're not a shrink. We're coaches.
Well, and that's, you said there's so much fear of like transactional relationships and a lot of that happening. And I see it from both sides, right? Like men having that fear and having had those experiences, but then women also pursuing very transactional dynamics and stuff like that and wanting that. And I think so much of that problem is happening because of social media. And you see, I actually did a video about this on social media a couple of weeks ago, with so many women on social media are taking advice. This might lead us down an interesting path, taking advice from like sugar babies, escorts, things like the women like that, who are not saying that that's what they're doing. They're like, oh, within the first month, you should be paying all your bills. You're like, that's not a realistic expectation for people who are dating in a normal, healthy way. Stop putting that messaging out.
It tells people that what they're doing is okay. It legitimizes this horrible direction relationships are going in.
And it makes a lot of women who are looking for real, healthy relationships think that that should be one of their expectations, which is ridiculous. And then,
it makes them feel like they're stupid for being old school.
Exactly. And then, of course,
or it's an insult.
Yeah. And men being like approached in that way, or having women say those kinds of expectations, like it just it's such like polar like extremes of things that have caught on a lot. And so we've got the like, I think the like, a lot of like male red pill incels, like with their talking points, and then also like femcells and their ridiculous talking points on the other side.
Yeah. The feminism at the expense of manhood. Angry. Anybody's angry.
Yeah.
I do not know anybody, maybe you can shout me down, but I don't know anybody who despises the other gender who's happy.
Yeah.
I know none. I know zero. I have. If you're out there listening to the show, please come on and be a guest. Prove to me you're actually really happy. People will give lip service to it. People go, I just go play golf and go hunting and fishing. I don't have any women in my life and I'm happy as a clam. Then he goes off and masturbates to porn. I don't know.
But
people doesn't pass the sniff test.
But people are taking advice from those kinds of people. It's like you should.
It validates what they want to be true.
Right.
Even though it's not serving them.
Life, dating, relationships, they're hard for me. It must be this. And so it's from both sides, right? The female kind of incels, we can call them, the male like red pill incel, right? There's female red pill content, male red pill content. And both of what I've seen from both of those camps, right, is there's a deep like mommy wound or daddy wound or something like that going on that they haven't faced and dealt with and done the work to heal. And so they're taking it out, right? So their behaviors are clearly, projecting that. And there's also, you can just feel, as to your point, you can feel the disdain for the opposite sex. Like they want it so bad, but they also just like have such a resentment toward the opposite sex. And they rarely have healthy, sustainable relationships either.
And yet these people are surprised when they can't get anybody who's of the other gender to like them.
Yeah.
They don't like any of them and they want something different, especially men, because they're leading. Right. Oh, yeah. No, you're right on the money. By the way, whatever's going on in downtown LA needs a man to come provide and protect out there.
Can you hear it's my
banging and dogs and
it's the trash getting picked up outside. I can mute until you.
Well, they need a real man to take that trash out. That's what
it's the
take that trash to the curb. Yeah. Sorry, I'm too far away. I'm here in nice, quiet,
It's all right.
bucolic San Antonio, Texas, without a clue.
It's the
I
truck.
just had to comment on
the man out in the truck picking it up.
It's funny because I have this knack for podcasting on Wednesdays, and the lawn guys and the trash. And I've had such star-crossed episodes. Of course, it would all be completely transparent to these guys because I edit it. But the charm of being in Los Angeles or New York is car horns and sirens.
Yeah.
And
well, and the funny thing is,
going on in the background.
I live in a very quiet, peaceful neighborhood too. But yes, it does happen to be trash. I know, very
You're
quiet,
blowing
safe,
my cover
peaceful
here.
Neighborhood, but it is trash time right now.
Yes, trash time is a noisy time for podcasts. Yeah, we had an air show here this weekend, and of course the Thunderbirds want to practice over my house the day. It's crazy.
That's so nice.
Yeah, we have air traffic everywhere here in San Antonio. I love everything you're saying, and I think you have done exactly what we hoped would happen in the show, which is bring a new twist to something that is a very popular and necessary, essential topic around here. You talked about choosing. And I want to talk to you about the way you worded the difference between a woman who wants you versus one who just chooses you. Why just in front of choosing? Is choosing a diminished version of wanting in your mind?
For women,
I'm a gotcha podcast.
No. I like this. I like this question because I think there are a lot of women who, and I think it's different. It's different for men and women. There are a lot of women who have a very hard time with being alone. I think I've seen that shift a little bit just in this last year, but a lot of women who have a hard time being alone and they would rather be in an okay relationship than and like lower their standards or expectations or things like that than be in the kind of relationship that they really desire to be in. And
I see where this is going. This is semantic.
Yeah, it's more semantic for sure. So you want to, I think, but both sides. You want to be with somebody who genuinely wants to be with you, not just be with you because you're the best option right now.
Right. It's not because I think you're using the word choose as more the passive act of settling. Whoever falls in my lap, all right, I'll tolerate you.
Yes, exactly.
I take the word choose very seriously around here.
Well, and that's why I would say it's different from a man's perspective because as women, we want to feel very chosen, right? Like a woman wants to, a woman wants to feel that decisive, I choose you energy directed at her from a man.
Kills any essence of a normal woman wanting to be jealous or feeling the need to be jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife blesses me going out in the field teaching guys how to get better with women because I chose her. My wife is my favorite female human being who's ever lived, and she knows it. And I had other pretty women. I had other women who, when I broke up with them, my buddies accused me of being gay. They all wanted their phone numbers. Like, well, if you're done with her, And my wife was the queen of them all, and she still is.
Yeah.
And I tell guys, and I think this is getting at where you're coming from, and I love the fact that you're bringing the female perspective to this and that you're saying it in a different way because that's impactful. That's significant that you're using the words differently. I think I am my wife's favorite man ever because she's my favorite woman ever. I don't think I ever did anything more heroic than choosing her over other women. So she's like, I feel so safe.
Yep.
Because I feel so chosen, and because I feel so safe, I feel so turned on.
Absolutely.
It's a series of it's a domino effect. It's a bunch of levers you click in a row to get this desired outcome, which is a woman who will follow your lead.
I was going to say, when as a woman, you feel that the energy of that full commitment and full choosing, it is makes you feel incredibly safe. It is incredibly activating and liberating and it allows you to put so much trust in that person.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to go get a Guma or a side piece all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have my nose pressed against the glass looking at greener pastures. I'm good. Once guys are good, what do? we get our setup right, and we move on to something else. Why do so many presidents, why are they all, except for one, married? Because they get this great woman in their life and they're on to something else. The Trumps get criticized. Yeah, maybe they're in a situationship. Who knows? Well, all I know is Donald Trump doesn't have to worry about who his chick is. The media might want to try to drive that wedge. He's got his supermodel chick. Now he can go on to leading the free world and trying to get rid of Iran. Now he's got it handled. He doesn't, do billionaires have a special license with cheating around on their women and them? Who knows? I don't know the relationship those two have sexually.
Yeah.
All I know is that's not at the forefront of what he's trying to handle right now, because it's handled. And so my wife knows she's my team. We are together. We are ride or die. Now we go save the world together.
Right. And if I believe, if we know that men tend to be more single focused, men tend to be more wired for discipline and also very purpose driven. If you are in a committed relationship or with a woman and that it feels like there's a gap there, right? Like it doesn't feel settled, or you don't feel chosen, and like he's looking elsewhere and things like that, or his energy at least is elsewhere.
Settled meaning established.
Yeah, established, right? And like committed. If you're not feeling that, right, it's very unsettling for the woman. But then it's also like, okay, but why then is he trying to find fulfillment elsewhere? Why isn't he focused on purpose, focused on commitment? There's something not, and I'm saying this in a very like simplified way. Like, what is wrong with him that he is needing to then go have all this other attention or like validation and things like that? So it's very like that singular focus. I don't think men realize how powerful that singular focus feels for a woman, and how like it's such a powerful effect on a woman.
It's having a plan, not only in the moment, but long-term ambition as well.
Absolutely.
And you're right. When a guy's needy and he needs validation and he's a people pleaser, it's hard for a woman to feel safe in that environment. The attraction fades.
Right.
Yeah,
because
very,
he's
very
not
powerful.
getting fulfillment through his purpose or his path and things like that. He needs it from all these kind of leaky sources, and that's unreliable.
Right. Speaking of buzzwords like leaky, I have seen the phrase regulate one's nervous system.
Yes.
Several dozen times in the last 3 weeks, and I'd never seen it before.
Oh.
Okay. It's kind of like Strait of Hormuz,
Okay.
until 2 months ago.
Yeah. Yes. Same.
What does that even mean, to regulate your nervous system?
So
and why is it so important in your practice?
Absolutely. So if we're zooming back to the intro,
Rhetorical
talking about somatic healing and somatic coaching and stuff like that. So somatic, no, not about sleep, but sleep can be a part of it. But somatic is about working with the body, and specifically working with the nervous system and subconscious mind. So, we're going to get a little like into the sciencey, like geeky sciencey stuff, but so much of how we operate is driven by our subconscious programming, not by our conscious decision making, right? Like the conscious mind, like if we picture an iceberg, right? The tip poking out of the water, that is like the conscious operating system. The majority of what we do, how we think, how we act, how we feel on a day-to-day basis is unconsciously driven. And so when we find that there are like, if you find yourself repeating the same ineffective patterns or habits over and over again in your life, like, talking about, if you find yourself in bad relationships or choosing the wrong person over and over and over again, if it's like twice, okay, maybe you made a couple of mistakes. After, once you start getting into like the third time, there's something going on inside yourself you need to figure out, right?
There's look in the old mirror. There's a pattern.
Exactly. And so sometimes when we have these things like, oh, consciously, I know that I shouldn't do XYZ, or I know that that was a bad idea, or whatever it was, it's because there's like some sort of kind of program running in our nervous system that is leading us down that path, because that's what the nervous system
sabotages our masculine energy and our ability to be attractive. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so with that, like the importance of regulating your nervous system is, it's to simplify it, is if you have certain triggers in your life and you notice like, oh, anytime my partner says this or this happens, I just feel really stressed and all this kind of stuff. It's being able to zoom out and go, okay, and like, is that the reality of the situation? Or are you adding a lot of like story to it? Is there a way we can kind of clear that program from the nervous system so that we can have a more balanced and like a balanced response, but also like peaceful existence as well? So it's a lot about understanding how you're wired, and like almost in having a beat between like the stimulus and the response. So the action that, or the thing that takes place, the feeling I might have about it, and then how I choose to act and move forward. So managing kind of that moment in between, and then retraining your body to have different reactions that are going to serve you better.
Sure. I think that's a wonderful explanation. The Sopranos, as wildly popular as the show was,
yes, loved it,
made alexithymia famous. Men like, Tony Soprano have no control over their emotions. They don't understand their emotions. They can't regulate their emotions because they don't even know when they're there.
Mm-hmm.
So alexithymic men have absolutely no contact with their emotions. They're not in touch with their emotions at all. So this idea of regulating one's nervous system, it's the equivalent of having a jet engine with no backup system, and you don't know if it's running haywire or not, versus having backup systems on backup systems to make sure this thing doesn't crash. And I think it's extremely masculine for men to have nervous system regulation and know where their mental triggers are, and to install new ones, which is big for us around here. You can change a habit. I wanted to stop saying the word hate.
Yeah.
I don't like the word. I always think there's a better way to express disapproval. So I established a mental trigger in my head to hear myself say it. And every time I did, it'd be like, Homer Simpson, no,
Yep.
And I would apologize to people. I said, that's not the word I meant. The word I meant is this. And they were like, okay, dude, whatever. And I'm like, well, it was for me, not them. So I could establish that habit by speaking it. And I think guys can regulate their nervous systems and help create the better version of themselves simply by setting those triggers and creating new mental habits. I think you hit the nail on the head. And a lot of guys really need to do this. And what I find impressive about this whole conversation is you work mostly with women, no?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. I want to send guys to your website. It's frilly and it's pretty, but you're smart and awesome in the best sense of the word. And I think guys have a lot to learn from you, and would probably like to dive in a little bit more about what you're talking about, because you have a whole litany of things that are very, very interesting that we haven't talked about yet, that you gave me as potential talking points. And I'm going to formally invite you back on to finish the list. Once you come back.
I would absolutely love to. This is great. I would love to, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank you.
MountainTopPodcast.com/essence. We've had a Lauren on before. ESSENCE. Your name is your .com. You have one of those names where, lucky you got to get your name. You weren't,
no one, no competition for it. Lauren Salon, pretty
Jane
straightforward.
Jones or anything, yeah. So, LAURENSALAUN.com. What are they going to find when they get there, Lauren?
Like you said, I do have a lot of resources for women, I have an amazing texting guide for how women can communicate more effectively from their feminine energy, so that they can.
Guys, you want to be a fly on the wall for that.
Sure. Get it, guys.
Come on.
Give it to the women in your life, right?
Oh man, that's like getting KGB information on the sly. That's amazing.
But it's not, here's the thing, because I know a lot of people can look at the stuff that I do and be like, oh, it's all strategic to try and like trick men, but it's not. I'm genuinely trying to help women. Yeah. I'm trying to help women be how I believe we're meant to be, which is more in our feminine energy, and to then have the kinds of relationships that they really want to have and be the kinds of partners that they want to be and that men deserve, like all of that. But yes, what you'll find on my site, I have various programs, things like that. If I have worked with men in the past, so you can schedule a coaching call with me if that would be helpful. I have my own podcast, which will be coming back. By the time this airs, the podcast will be out. So I've got my own podcast as well that you can tune into from my website. So all of that.
I'm assuming you don't have male guests on your podcast.
I do.
Well, then what's up?
Shall we? Shall we?
We shall. We
all right.
shall.
Perfect.
I
would love it.
I love talking to
I'd
all
be honored.
women. Yes.
I'd be honored.
Even if I don't get, well, thank you. I would too. Even if I don't have women signing up to be on coaching programs with me, although like you, we do coach women too, but majority men.
Yeah.
It keeps me tuned up to talk to women about women.
Yeah.
I love the opportunity. It's like practice. It's like
you got to know all the perspectives.
I love it. I think that's what you're doing here, and I think the guys love you. And I absolutely believe if you can get your hands on a texting program where a woman's tutoring women on how to text properly, guys, you're going to be smarter for it.
I've had married women get it, and you can use it's not just for texting, right? You can use it in actual conversation. And I've had so many people who are even married clients who are like, oh my gosh, I just started talking to him slightly differently, and it's made such a big change. I'm like, yeah, see, there we go.
Yeah,
you're both happier.
No, I think this has been a wonderful conversation. The kind of conversation, frankly, human beings, male and female, should have more of. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
This
Thank you.
This has been a conversation that makes you feel great. It makes you stand up and cheer. And if you're kind of on the fence about being cynical towards women, or you're a woman, again, fly on the wall watching this, being cynical about men, hopefully we've restored some hope here. Because I honestly, Lauren, I think most people are like us in this regard.
Yeah.
We want this to work. We're just not angry and grabbing the mic on social media and causing a fuss about it.
Exactly.
We're just trying to live our lives. Yeah. Great stuff. Lauren Salon, entrepreneur, speaker, transformational facilitator, somatic life coach, chooser and not a chaser extraordinaire. Thank you so much for being on. Can't wait to have you back.
Thanks for having me. I've had a great time.
Yeah, likewise. Gentlemen, did you get your copy of The Big Four Woman yet? Because if you want to know what kind of woman you should be directing your masculine energy towards, it's not a woman who's going to ruin your life. It's not a woman who belongs in a shrink's office. You need a woman who's level-headed and wants to bring feminine gifts to you. All that kind of stuff is covered in this little audio program with great bonuses, by the way, called Big Four Woman. You can get that at mountaintoppodcast.com/Big Four Woman spelled out. Also, if you haven't visited Jocko Willink's company, Origin in Maine, the guys at Hero Soap, or the guys at Keyport, all manly stuff. You're down with a discount. Mountain 10 is the discount code you use to get an additional 10% off from all three of our longtime sponsors. And guys, they've been sponsoring this show for years because I love what they do. You know, I will not have sponsors on this show that I don't believe in their products. It'll never happen. And so the partnership there is very real. I use their stuff daily, all three of them. And I think you ought to too. All the links to those guys are at mountaintoppodcast.com. Also, check it out. After many, many years, I've switched out the little gift I get to you when you sign up for my newsletter. Because a lot of you guys, I know you need a pattern interrupt. You're used to seeing the same thing up there, sticking point solved. Yeah. No. Now I have a 5-minute read. It's called 5 Things You Can Do Right Now to Be Better with Women without memorizing anything or learning any new skills. Just right now. You can just, boom. It's called Flip the Switch. 5 Things You Can Do Right Now. And I want to give that to you for free when you sign up for my newsletter. When you get on my newsletter, guys, it's fluff free, and you're going to get a new tip every day for being better with women, being a better man. All of that is there for you and more at mountaintoppodcast.com. Until we talk again real soon, this is Scott McKay from X&Y Communications in San Antonio, Texas. Be good out there.
The Mountaintop Podcast is produced by X&Y Communications. All rights reserved worldwide. Be sure to visit www.mountaintoppodcast.com for show notes. And while you're there, sign up for the free X&Y Communications newsletter for men. This is Ed Roy Odom speaking for the Mountaintop Podcast.